real life, we know why people have different hair colours. It's all to do with pigments. The amount of eumelanin determines the lightness, while the amount of pheomelanin determines the redness, and both of these are determined by genes. Genetic mutations relating to hair colour probably spread and became common, especially among Europeans, because of sexual selection. Someone who randomly mutates light brown hair is kind of a novelty among people with black hair, so they'll have better luck finding a partner, as long as their difference isn't stigmatised. But over time, as more people choose light brown haired partners and the mutation spreads, light brown hair isn't special anymore. The next big thing might be blonde hair, or red. These variations spread through a population, and they end up with a wide range of common hair colours. Or at least that's one explanation. The Alouche have it all figured out though. It's actually to do with clay. I mean, hair and clay come in similar colours, so there's got to be a connection, right? Humans are made of clay after all. Or, well, the first ones were. It's slightly more complicated now. This is how an Alouche person would put it. A child is made with solid clay-like matter from the mother, and a substance like water, which comes from the father. So physical traits are inherited almost entirely from the mother. If her hair is dark, then she's made of dark clay, and her kid's hair will be dark too. But obviously during a pregnancy, the child grows, and that extra matter comes from what the mother is eating while she's pregnant. That can influence the appearance too. If she eats a lot of meat, for example, the child's hair will be redder. If she eats a lot of wheat, it'll be lighter. Most people in Alouche have pretty similar skin tones, and almost all of them have brown or black eyes, so they just kind of assume that's the default and don't try to explain it. Hair colour is pretty varied though, so they've come up with theories. The water from the father, though, doesn't actually contribute to a child's appearance. It's just water. It can have some effect on personality, but it's mostly important because you can't do much with dry clay. This might seem kind of weird, but in Alouche, monogamy isn't the norm, and especially in early periods, people aren't really keeping track of who they're sleeping with, so they're not going to be looking out for resemblances. That will change later when they start getting more concerned about foreign water entering the gene pool, but they still maintain the idea that the solid matter is the most important. And bear in mind that rare hair colours tend to be recessive. A child needs a copy from both parents to express it. If both the parents have a rare hair colour and the child also has it, then that can be attributed only to the mother. If only the dad has the rare colour, it's unlikely to turn up in the child unless it's in the mother's family, in which case it can be attributed to that. Or to her thoughts. In our world, people have often believed that what a pregnant person sees has a big influence on what the baby will look like. In the Bible, Jacob shows ewes differently patterned sticks to influence what their lambs will look like. According to some Romans, you shouldn't look at monkeys while conceiving, or the child might look like a monkey, for example. Though I don't know why you'd be looking at monkeys at that point anyway. If you want your child to be beautiful or clever, you should be looking at a painting or statue of a beautiful or clever person while bonking. And if a child doesn't look like their supposed father, it's not necessarily adultery. The mother might just have been imagining someone else. In a time when paternity was difficult to prove, you could kind of believe whatever was convenient. Anyway, the people of Alouche literally do not care about adultery or establishing paternity, so this kind of thing doesn't concern them much. But they do still believe in a visual component. The clay's got to be moulded somehow, and that's influenced by the potter's thoughts. A resemblance to someone doesn't necessarily mean you're related, just that they were used as visual reference when you were being shaped. But that can also be affected by conditions in the womb. If it was too hot, too much alcohol or spices that heat up the body, the child might crack, or come out strangely shaped. Birthmarks appear where the clay was burnt in a particular place. Lots of movement and the baby will be stretched out and floppy. Too little and it'll come out chunky and round. When people get old, their hair starts to lose pigment, and so it appears grey or white. Okay, don't panic, but that's actually bone. That's why people get a bit weaker when they get older. Their bones get brittle, the dust gets in their blood and it comes out in their hair. Grey and white hair is actually pretty useful for farming. You can bury it in your field so that plants will use the bone. And also, burying bones is inherently protective. That's why every house doorway has a dead person under it. But a lock of white hair can work a little too. And then there are some people that are born pale, with stark white hair and pale skin. These people aren't made of clay at all. They're more like pearls, with solid material deposited around a divine speck of dust. Since their initial solid material doesn't come from their mother, they're technically not related. Children like this are often adopted by the temples and considered descendants of the gods.